4 reasons your vagina might hurt. Yes.
Bringing sexy back. We're bringing sexy back.
Let's get it started. Potter, won't you give it up?
Hello, beautiful lady. Yes, I am talking to you. It is Thursday, and you know what goes down here on Thursday. Wife Life with Dr. Gail goes down here on Thursday. So do me a huge favor. Make sure that you're hitting the subscribe button and the little bell right next to it so you'll know when I go live. And so tonight I want to talk to you about 4 reasons your vagina might hurt. Yes, 4 reasons that your vagina might hurt. Now, there are, I don't know how many reasons that your vagina might hurt. It could be that, a sex position that you tried that did not work out. It could be a lack of lubricant. It could be a lack of so many different things. But I'm going to talk to you about some things that mainly I deal with within my practice as a licensed sexologist, and to just try to give you a gauge and a guide when you need to go see your GYN, because it's very important, no matter what, if you're experiencing painful sex or not, that you continue to go see your GYN at least once a year or every 2 years, depending on what age bracket that you fall into, okay? So the number one reason why some women experience painful sex or their vagina might hurt is that they might have a vulva infection. And what is the vulva? The vulva is the opening to your vagina, right? It's the 2 layers of skin that protrude outside of the vagina. And so that's what your vulva is, right? And the most common things that we experience in that areas is either yeast infections or genital herpes, okay? And yeast infections are very common, especially if you have been on a series of antibiotics. And what is a yeast infection? And a yeast infection is just a build-up of yeast, and it can cause swelling, it can cause itching, and it can cause pain during sex or painful urination, right? And so if you're experiencing any of those things, most of the time you might have a yeast infection, and they're very treatable. You just need to make sure that you're wearing 100% cotton underwear and that you do get on some type of antibiotic, okay? Also, genital herpes, as we know, is not curable, but it's very manageable, right? And it's a sexually transmitted that causes raw, painful sores that can last anywhere from 3 to 14 days. And when you're experiencing a breakout, it is said for you not to engage in sex unless you use a condom, but you need to be very open and honest with your spouse about that you're having a breakout, because trying to engage with sex with a breakout can be very highly painful, and it can also be transmittable. But living with herpes in this day and time is very manageable, and you can have a fulfilling sex life and not transmit it to your partner and those kind of things. But you just need to be open and honest when you are experiencing a breakout. And even when you're not experiencing a breakout, at least, let your partner know, that you're taking medications and the precautions that you need to put in place before you engage in sex, okay? Number 2 reason why your vagina might hurt is cysts, right? Bartholomew cysts develop when the glands that produce the lubricant to the vagina, they become blocked or clogged, right? And they can swell up and become very highly painful and filled with pus. And the best way to alleviate this pain is to sit in some warm water with no bubbles or anything, and it actually will help the glands, cool down and release the fluid that is trapped, the lubricant that is trapped, and can help you flow again if you're getting ready to engage in sex. My thing is if you are experiencing this type of pain, you do need to go see your GYN just to make sure that that's what's going on down there. But we as women will experience some kind of cyst in that area. And so, like I said, sitting in a bath, if you know this is what's going on, right? Sitting in a warm bath, not hot, but a warm bath with no bubbles or anything in there can alleviate the pain, and it can also not make it painful when you get ready to engage in sex and your body kicks in to do that natural lubricant. Okay. The other, number three, the other reason why your vagina might hurt, you might be experiencing endometriosis, right? And what is endometriosis? Endometriosis is the lining of the vagina that might be growing to other parts of your uterus and of the pelvic floor. And when your lining pulls down and it grows in other parts, it can be highly painful during sex. It can cause you pain during your menstrual cycles, during your bowel movements. It could cause nausea. It could cause constipation. It can cause diarrhea. So if you have any of these signs and it's highly painful for you, what you really want to do is go see your doctor, because the only way to really correct endometriosis is they can do it with a laser. They can do some other manipulations of your lining of your thing, but most of the time that is something that needs to be corrected with surgery, right? They can do some scraping, they can do some lasers and other things like that, but when it gets to this point, it is very highly painful, and you do need to get it corrected. Okay. And number 4 is if you have an inflamed pelvic floor, right? If you have an inflamed pelvic floor, and your pelvic floor is what holds everything, your vagina, all your organs in that area in place, right? And I have talked about exercising your pelvic floor. I have done some videos on that, so please make sure that you look at that, because if you have a weak core plus a weak pelvic floor, a lot of times you will experience a lot of pain, right? You can experience pain during urination, during bowel movements, all kind of different kind of things, right? And so you want to make sure that your pelvic floor is really strong. And if you're experiencing any pain and you don't know where it's coming from, it could be that it is coming from another part of the vagina. It could be your fallopian tubes or whatever. But when you get ready to engage in sex using those muscles and those core muscles, that it feels like your whole entire, body is hurting, right? And you don't really understand where that pain is coming from. It could be that you have a inflamed pelvic floor. Okay, and so this is something that you really need to work with your doctor to really figure out if you have a cyst, if you have a yeast infection, if you have a weak pelvic floor or an inflamed pelvic floor, if you are experiencing any herpes or anything like that. This is your body, and you need to make sure that you take care of it and that you go see your doctor about it and tell them any pain or discomfort that you're having when it comes to intercourse. Because let me just tell you, sex is supposed to be amazing. It's supposed to feel good. It's supposed to do a lot of different great things for your body. Okay. I love you to pieces. I am here every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will see you next week. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you're looking for more resources to take your marriage to a whole nother level, I'm your girl. Please click the link below and visit my website. There's tons of ebooks and books and all kind of things just to help you on this wife life journey. As well as I would love for you to join me on all my other platforms. You can look for me on TikTok, Instagram, and my Facebook page. I am always hanging out on all my platforms. So click the link below and join my tribe. I truly appreciate you.
We're bringing sexy back. We're bringing sexy back.
Let's get it started. Harder, won't you give it up?